So I was watching a series on Tijani's channel you guys put out on like 4 days ago, and it was I think the session you guys talking about men would always cheat. I think it was China that was touching on that topic, and there was like an Asian girl that was disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
My point is, I feel like we're trying to get women to come to the table to have these conversations about how we want them to behave to us as men. So when you're already telling them that men are going to cheat, then already you're cutting them a bad deal. They don't want to come to the table. They want to just be stuck up always and behave the way they always do, which obviously we are not happy with at the moment. So I feel like to get these women to come to the table and have these conversations, I think we just need to stop projecting this men are always going to cheat and be men. Because I also believe, like Auntie said, that it's only a weak man that cheats. You know, I know obviously they say a high value man is always going to have options. But for me, a true man is the one that goes against the grain. You need to be able to swim against the current. So if everybody's doing the same thing, you should be able to say, I can be faithful to my woman. Because if you've decided to get into a relationship with someone and don't be faithful, that's the most, the weakest man I know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're not true to your words. So you might as well just not be in a relationship and run through as many women as you want. That's fine. But if the moment you decide to drag a woman into a relationship, you owe that woman being faithful to her until that relationship breaks up or marriage or whatsoever. So I just wanted to put that out there and see what China thinks about this. I know you have very strong opinions about this.
So what I will say is but the funny thing is I prescribe to what you're saying, like a bit of it. So I'll tell you what I prescribe to. I prescribe to that if you want to be in a relationship, you shouldn't cheat on your woman. Like my woman is currently sat in the room as we're having this conversation. I've said it. I've never advocated for it, but I think so. I don't agree that you're weak if you step out. I don't agree that you're weak because I do think, that is along the forms of the sign language that women use to shame men and for being an aspect of a man. Now, what I have said is, by me speaking on it, that's not me endorsing it. That's not me saying that I support it or saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying what happens, right? So on the show, what we had is them telling me not to speak about it. I don't have to speak about it, but it does not stop it from happening. So when I say women love liars, they would rather have me completely not even make them aware of something that is happening rather than speak about it. What are you getting triggered about? The fact I'm telling you about what some men do, not me. I don't prescribe to this. Not some of my friends, but this is what some men do, and they're telling us we're doing it. Even the fact you're calling them weak. Men in the comments saying, well, I'm weak. No, we're not weak. So if you would rather me not speak about it, it does not stop it happening. And what actually happens is, when it happens to women, they don't understand. I believe my job on this platform is to speak in a way that men haven't spoken to women, and men won't. So what you're advocating for me to do is actually, you know what, China, don't speak on the fact that certain men do this, and just speak to women and just say, and then what happens then? We don't move forward. The men are still going to do it, and the women are not going to know why. And remember, I am not advocating for men cheating on their spouses or partners or wherever it is. I'm just saying certain men do it, and particularly men who have options. So if you get with one of these men, if it does happen, this is why. But I'm not advocating. I'm not advocating for it.
I think that not all men cheat, but I think
I never said that though.
No, you've given your side of
no,
it. I'm giving mine.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, because
No, I'm not going against what you're saying.
Cool, yeah, I'm just like,
you've spoken already, so I'm just giving my view.
Not all men cheat.
No, I just think that not all men cheat, and the men need to man up and choose women more carefully. And if you're married and your wife's not giving you sex, I believe that she should allow you to, don't even call it cheating, allow you to step out. So I reckon there's situations where it will, because if you're married and your wife's not having sex with you and you leave, it's to your detriment. But you might have a perfect marriage except for the sex. And there's women out there that love their husbands. They know they don't want any sex and they're willing to let them go and step out. So I think that's where it comes from. I'm not saying that if you got a woman that's doing everything for you, go and cheat. Or if it happens, you go and cheat because you're weak. But I think that sexless relationships, you should be able to step out.
No, I do agree. If you're being denied access to sex in a relationship where you're being faithful, you're giving the best you can in that relationship, and the other half is denying access to sex, it's understandable. But where everything is good and you're assuming because you're a high value male, you have this female at home who's been faithful to you, giving you everything they can, have kids for you, and then you're stepping out doing all you can because you're a high value male. I feel like when we put that on the table for women to look at, they don't want to come to that table and have this conversation. And this is why they're always going to behave. I think we actually do for the men. We're trying to, because a lot of red pill contents we watch on YouTube, they talk about a lot of men who don't have access to women at all. Like about a certain percentage of men are virgins. But with what we're propagating, what we're putting on the table for women to look at, we're not doing this men any favors because the women don't want that.
Why not?
Do you know what I mean? So
wait. Why don't women want virgins?
No, I mean the women don't want men who look them in the face to say, you're going to be faithful to me and you're going to accept me sleeping with as many women as I can because biologically that's the way I am. Who wants that deal?
No, we're not saying that. But if you go for a guy, like, you see, like, I'm about realism. So if you go for a guy, like, listen, us as men, we can tell men that get girls. You can go into a room and know this guy gets girls, yeah? Just like women can go into a room and know the guys that get girls. And they can look at the guys and know the guy which doesn't get a lot of attention. If you go for the guy that gets girls based upon what he looks like, based upon his height, based upon his status, based upon his wealth, based upon his car, based upon all of these things, the moment you do that, what you're saying is, I know that this guy can step out and get attention by other people. This is what you say subliminally, right? Just like when you go for a bad bee or for a pretty woman, you have to understand that men are going to approach her. Now, what regulates both of these people is by what they think. Now, so I'm not saying he's going to step out. But the chances are of so for example, if you dated a footballer, for example, or an actor or someone that was so high profile, everywhere he steps in the room, people want to take pictures of him and run up to him. Now, he would have to have more sexual discipline than myself or you. Because, bruv, every single day, my man is having to beat them off. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
But he doesn't have, I get you, bro. I understand what you're saying.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, one second. He doesn't have to. All he needs to do is not be in a relationship.
But I didn't say that. But if you go for a movie star when he does that, and then you say, you know what, I don't want to be. He can replace you. The chances of you getting another movie star are not the same. So what I'm trying to say is, there's a level of women that go to date these men and they never complain because they understand their position. The ones that complain are the ones that want to make it. They want to make it fair. But you cannot have it. You cannot go for a guy that's every person wants, and he may not prescribe to that, and if he doesn't, then you just have to get someone else. And the problem is, I wouldn't go for one of these insta baddies, you know the girls I'm talking about, and try to make her the girl that's going to be at home baking cookies and trying to do this. Why would I do that for? Like, you would listen, this is why I said I don't cry for Kanye, because Kanye knew exactly what he was doing when he got with Kim, right? So now that it's all gone everyone's like, no one ain't feeling sorry for Kanye because they knew what he was getting into. So I prescribe to the thing is, you pick your own poison. You know what I'm trying to say? And if you pick that poison, let that be it. But I'm never, ever saying to men to cheat. Like, why would I say that? I'm like, yo, let's build a bond. But I do understand that if I go for one of these girls and it ends badly for me, just like these footballers, I don't feel sorry for none of these footballers, man. They go marry these girls. Once their career's over, the girls are taken half. What did you think? My mum taught me about this from when I was younger. You know the types of girls that are going to go and do that. You went for them, and then this is what they went and done. So I'm just saying, like, it could be devil's advocate if you want to call it that. But all I'm ever saying is I'm not agreeing on it. I'm not saying to do it. But if you go for a certain type of man, if they move, and this is how some of those mans move, that's it.
No, I get you. I respect that. Before I pass you on to my girl again, one more question. I suppose generally you're trying to tell the ladies that basically if you make your beds, so you lie in it. You know what I mean? I get that. You mentioned Kanye. What do you think about Kanye? Do you think Kanye is the same for marrying Kim?
is a simp.
Because I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think a billionaire could be a simp. But obviously,
anyone could be a simp.
No, billionaire could be a simp because you saw how
anyone can be a simp.
You saw how Leonardo DiCaprio had Jeff Bezos' girl going mad.
But you know what? Right? There's too many. What people feel like there's too many women out there willing to be side chicks, quietly willing to be side chicks, professional side chicks.
Did you see that thing when Jeff Bezos and his missus met Leonardo DiCaprio? Do you see how she was moving?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, yeah? Your woman, even look at your woman as I'm saying this, she can never, ever move like that in a room and that amount. You are supposed to be the pinnacle of her. Every time you're in a room, you are supposed to be that guy. Once she steps in that, Jeff Bezos is the billionaire. He's basically, he controls the world, right, yeah? But in that moment, Jeff Bezos was this small. Like, she literally crushed him, right? She crushed this short man. She see Leonardo DiCaprio, and he coming, and his movies, she could see herself as Kate Winslet's in Titanic. She could just see that moment. And in that moment, the stardom, all the movies, all of that stuff, that the billionaire didn't mean nothing. He didn't mean nothing. And that lets you know what women are like. That's literally, you know what I'm trying to say to you. So, yeah, billionaires can be simps. Definitely they can be simps, man. Like, men with money are some of the biggest simps ever.
Do you think though, maybe for us, like mere mortals, like people like us, it's important for my girl to respect me when we're in that sort of setting. But with Jeff Bezos, this guy could just get rid and get a new woman every day of the year. So maybe for him, it's not that important to assert authority over his woman.
Bro,
it's more about his wealth and his legacy.
Bro,
so maybe that's why.
Wealth. I don't care. You can be a tramp on the street with your girl, bro. You deserve respect. You deserve respect.
True.
Your wage or your wealth does not, you know what I mean, demand how much respect your wife is supposed to give to you. Money has never been a factor. Just being a man is a factor. The fact that she's with the richest man in the world and she lets an actor come in the room and emasculate them, bro. You know, to the point when Jeff Bezos was doing jokes on Twitter about, yo, Leonardo DiCaprio, yo, come here, I just want to have a talk with you, and he's on the edge of a hill, or what's it, of the edge of a, you know what I mean, mountain or something, looking to push Leonardo off. My thing is this, money has never been the reason to be the man. Money does not make you the man. Made the money never made the man. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you, yeah? And this is why some of the biggest simps in the world are men with money, because they lead with their money, they lead with their wallet, yeah? That doesn't command you respect. It's just going to mean that women are going to come for you with their money. You know what I'm trying to say to you? But if you're a man that leads as being a man and you have money, those two things make you unstoppable force.